What's going on, my fellow YouTube patriots? This is Sai, your single black conservative. Wanted to make a video to kind of give you some information more about me, kind of like my activities in politics and experiences and all that sort of deal. So here we are. I voted in my first presidential election back in 1996. I believe it was Bill Clinton going up against Bob Dole. And I have to honestly admit, I do not remember who I voted for. You know, as many of us were, I was a legacy Democrat, so I probably voted however, my parents told me to, or how I was guided to vote. Fortunately for me, I analyze and question everything. So I did some research on both the Democratic and Republican parties, and I found that my morals and values line up with the Republican Party and definitely not the Democratic Party. So I made the switch. I was one of those odd kids. I could not wait to turn 18 because I could not wait to register to vote. I've always been a proud American, and I couldn't wait to be a part of that machine that makes this country run. The next election was 2000. I know it was George Bush. What is it? Was it Al Gore? Sorry, Al. Of course, I voted for George W. Bush, whom I always admired and respected. So much so, for his re-election campaign in 2004, I actually worked on it. The RNC sent me all the way from the East Coast all the way up to Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And of course, me being kind of naive, assumed Wisconsin, Midwest, morals and values, red state. I was so wrong. That couldn't have been any further from the truth. I mean, they hated us there, hated us. I'm like, it was incredible. I was so caught off guard and so shocked, but did not like, appreciate, nor want us there. I often say that it feels like politics is in my DNA. My dad worked for the U.S. Senate beginning in the late 60s all the way up until maybe 9 years ago. I remember spending a lot of time on the Hill as a kid. It was great to have that experience, wandering around, the Senate office buildings and just kind of hanging out there, going to like Christmas parties and all that good stuff. And as a kid, I don't think anything of it, but now I'm like, man, I was like, in the know. I was down with what was happening, great. Hell, I even had my first bank account there. First bank account, United States Senate Federal Credit Union. I even banked there. Another cool thing, I worked for a really large trade association in Washington, D.C., which afforded me some interesting experience as well. One of which was meeting Vice President Dick Cheney, being able to, have a conversation with him, shake his hand, get a picture, all that good stuff. That was pretty cool, and that's not something that most people get to say that they did. I always try to stay politically active. I feel that is my responsibility as an American citizen. 2007, I worked on Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour's successful re-election campaign. So, you know what? I'm 2 for 2. I like to say that George W. Bush and Haley Barbour won their re-elections because of this girl. You're right. Okay, anyway. And of course, we all know what happened the following year in 2008. But enough of the sadness. We've been rewarded. After 8 years of caca, we have President Donald J. Trump. I can honestly say he's exceeded all of my expectations. As a matter of fact, I didn't have any expectations. All the things he promised. I'm thinking, if these things are so easy, then someone would have already done it. I can honestly say that President Trump is the president that I've waited my entire life for. Not just, empty rhetoric, empty promises, 8 years, 16 years if you count the Clintons and the Obamas together, of nothing. 16 years of BS, of nothing. It's so good to have a president that actually cares about this country and that wants to put this country first and make us great. We're not the United States of the world anymore. We're not, kowtowing and bending over for all those other countries just because so we can look like the nice guy and make friends while our country goes to hell in a handbasket. I'm really excited to see where he takes us as a nation. I'm anticipating really great things. It's amazing just the significant changes he's made in little under 20 months. So much so that the Democrats want to take credit for it, particularly the economy. I guess we found that magic wand after all. What they should be taking credit for is that band of actual deplorables that are making their way to our borders, who are decided they're going to bum rush and press their way into our country whether we like it or not. But I'm going to make a completely separate video on that. Another important thing to know about me, if you haven't already guessed, I bleed red, white, and blue. My heart beats for this country. It's not lost on me how fortunate we are to be and live in this country legally. We could have been born anywhere in the world, but we were born here in the United States of America, the greatest country on the face of the planet. Always has been, always will be. One other thing I wanted to talk about this weekend is very, very, very important here in the DMV. We have the Walkaway events coming up. Tomorrow night is the big gala at Trump's Hotel downtown. Saturday morning is the main event, the March on Washington. Cross your fingers that we don't have to go toe-to-toe with any of those Antifa freaks. And on Sunday, there's a brunch. So I don't know how many of you guys are out there. I'm participating. I'm a sponsor of the event, so I'll be at all three events. If you're out there, if you're planning to attend and you see me, please, feel free to come up to me, say hello. I promise I won't bite you, even if you ask me to. That's kind of nasty, unless you're into that sort of thing, which I do not judge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. If you did not like this video, please send it to your haters so after they watch, they've lost 10 minutes of their time that they'll never get back. Bye. Love you guys.